In the last episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuji, Megami, and Nobara were sent on a dangerous mission to kill a very powerful special grade curse at the Juvenile Detention Center. Desperate to defeat the curse, Yuji tries to switch with Sukuna, but the King of Curses threatens to kill his friends, so he tells Megami to escape with Nobara. Yuji bought them some time by battling the special grade curse till he was on the verge of death. When he was sure Megami and Nobara were safe, he gave Sukuna control of his body, and the latter easily destroyed the special grade curse. However, when it was time for Yuji to take back control of his body, he didn't respond to Sukuna's delight. The story continues when Megami notices the innate domain has disappeared, leading him to conclude that the special grade curse has been destroyed. While he is hoping that Yuji could come out alive, Sukuna, who still has control of the body, appears. Megami is immediately frightened, but Sukuna tells him not to be afraid and suggests that they have a chat. Sukuna informs him that Yuji can't switch back, and he suspects it's probably because he was using the Curse King's powers without a pact. Megami notices that Yuji's severed hand is fine, and concludes that Sukuna used the reverse curse technique to heal it. To ensure that Yuji doesn't take control of his body back, Sukuna stabs himself in the chest and rips out Yuji's heart before throwing it into the bush. This measure is to make sure that if Yuji does find a way to switch back, he'll die immediately, because he needs his heart to survive, unlike Sukuna. He then pulls out the finger he retrieved from the special grade curse and swallows it for a good measure. Horrified by what he just witnessed, Megami shrugs off the fear and boldly states that Yuji would find a way to switch back because he doesn't give up. Sukuna, on the other hand, laughs at the notion because he remembers how Yuji cried when he was about to die during the battle with a special grade curse. Regardless of all that Sukuna says, Megami takes a fighting stance and prepares to engage him in battle. He plans to trick Sukuna into healing Yuji's heart so that when he switches back, he won't die. Megami knows that he's no match for Sukuna, but he summons the courage to fight him because he knows he has to. Summoning a flying cursed beast, he charges at Sukuna and the fight begins while Megami throws numerous punches. Sukuna just effortlessly dodges all of them. He taunts Megami for missing and urges him to use more cursed energy before striking him with a heavy blow. The blow sends him back, but he manages to get his footing right and summons Orochi, a gigantic cursed snake, to attack Sukuna. The snake grabs Sukuna in its mouth and takes him up into the air, so Megami orders the two cursed beasts to attack him simultaneously. Sukuna just laughs as he takes the barrage of attack before using his cursed energy to blow up the snake. Megami is stunned when he sees this, but while he's still dazed, Sukuna appears behind him and throws him around. He crashes into several buildings, but before he can get his bearings, he's tossed around again over and over till the cursed bird catches him in the air again. As the bird attempts to fly him to safety, Megami realizes that Sukuna is too powerful for him. While he's still holding the thought, Sukuna jumps into the air and lands a devastating blow on him and the cursed bird, sending them crashing onto another building. When the dust clears, Sukuna goes into the building to find Megami and the cursed beast. Megami contemplates his next move, but can't come up with any ideas. He's already sacrificed one of his divine dogs and the cursed snake. At the same time, the cursed bird has reached its limit, so he decides to release it. Sukuna is impressed by his ability to summon the cursed beast from the shadows and admits that he has a talent, but tells him that he won't be enough to save Yuji, pointing to the hole in his chest. As Megami gets back on his feet, Sukuna tells him that he's risking his life for nothing because Yuji isn't worth it. At that moment, he remembers his argument with Yuji about saving Tadashi and recalls why Yuji asked him why he saved him when he was attacked at the school. Megami suddenly recalls a memory of a girl named Sumiki, the kindest person he's ever known, who got cursed. He thinks about how unfair life is and how jujutsu sorcerers have a part to play in justice. With that thought, he decides that he's going to do his best to help the good people he can to receive fairness in the already unfair world that they live in. With his new resolve to save people, whether it's fair or not, Megami takes a fighting stance and prepares to engage Sukuna in another battle. Relishing in the challenge, Sukuna advances towards Megami and urges him to show what he's capable of. As Sukuna comes face to face with him, Megami reflects on the day he saved Yuji and admits it was for a selfish reason. Megami somehow starts communicating with Yuji, admitting that he isn't a hero for saving him. Just then, the tattoos start to disappear and Yuji takes control of his body. In that brief moment, the two reconcile over the fight they just had. Yuji sees the blood gushing out of his body and realizes that his time is up. With his last breath, he tells Megumi that they don't have to worry about Sukuna anymore, and hopes that Megumi, Gojo, and Nobara have long lives. As the rain starts pouring down, Yuji falls face down to the ground and dies in front of Megumi. Sometime after Yuji's death, a man arrives somewhere in town walking with several curses that no one else can see. One of the curses asks him if it was worth to sacrifice a special finger to test Sukuna's power, and he admits that it was because he learned some new things. Meanwhile, Gojo scolds Inichi for allowing new students to face a special grade curse. Inichi explains that he instructed them to only rescue survivors and not to fight the curses, but Gojo insisted that it was careless of him. However, he cuts him some slack because he knows the real reason the special grade curse appeared. He presumes that the Jujutsu elders, who were not happy when he suspended Yuji's execution, decided to kill Yuji while he was away. As a result, Gojo considers killing the higher-up. Just then, the coroner walks in and tells Gojo that he is letting his emotions get the best of him, because he has a special liking for Yuji. Gojo claims that it wasn't the case, that he's nice to all his students, so she lets him be and begins examining Yuji's corpse. As she observes the body, she asks Gojo's permission to dissect it, and he allows it only in the condition that opening him up is worth it. Meanwhile, at Jujutsu Tech, Nobara and Megumi are mourning the loss of their friend. She asks if it's his first time losing a partner, and he tells her that it's the first time he's lost a partner about the same age as him. Nobara claims to be unbothered by Yuji's death, especially since she didn't know him for very long, but Megumi sees through the facade and knows that she's hurting. They're interrupted by a second-year student named Zenin, who notices their long faces and insensibly asks if someone died. Her classmates, Panda and Inumaki, then inform her that someone did die, creating a rather awkward atmosphere. They manage to move on from the topic and inform Megumi and Nobara about the upcoming Kyoto Sister school exchange event. Nobara isn't familiar with it, so they explain that it's a competition between the two Jujutsu schools in Tokyo and Kyoto, organized by the principals. It's a 2-day contest, with the first day involving teams, while the second day is the individual competition. They explain that they need her to join them to fill in for the suspended third-year students. The second-year students offered to train Nobara for the competition and asked Megumi to participate with her as a way of honoring Yuji. They agree to take part of the contest, but state that they would back out if the whole thing starts to feel pointless. Meanwhile, at a cafe in town, the man from earlier discusses with curses, who inform him that their boss wants to reverse the roles of humans and curses in the world. The curse speaking with him explains that the reason is that humans are selfish and dishonest. He claims that curses are pure truths because they're born of true human emotions like hatred and hostility. As a result, the curses have come to ask him how they can defeat the Jujutsu sorcerers that hunt them down. He explains that they would need to do 2 things to defeat them. First, they would have to eliminate Gojo Satoru, the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer. And second, they would need to get Sukuna and Yuji on their side. The curse reminds him that Yuji is dead, but the man just smiles, insinuating that Yuji isn't really dead. That brings us to the end of today's recap on Jujutsu Kaisen. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and kindly comment below if you would like to see the next part. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. See you next time.